Hey, small business owner and entrepreneur, congratulations on signing up for this free graphic design training course. My name is Micheal Stewart and I will be your teacher for this course. And first, let me say I'm super proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself as well for making this bold step in actually trying to learn the skill of graphic design. And as we go through this training, you'll soon realize that graphic design as a very difficult skill is just a misconception. Once you understand the principles behind graphic design, then you will begin to apply yourselves in ways that you would have never imagined. And I'll do my best to share what I've shared with so many other students that have passed through my hands, through my courses, through my trainings, through my YouTube channel, and try to help you to learn the skill of graphic design as best as possible, right? And let's talk a bit about it. Why do you want to learn graphic design? As a business owner, you have various needs, various design needs. You need business cards, you need posters, you need flyers, you need product posts, you need social media posts, you need designs for your website, you need designs to run advertisements, you need letterhead designs, so many design needs. And we realize that not having the skill as a graphic designer, as a business owner, can be quite challenging. You have to pay various graphic designers, or sometimes the same graphic designer, thousands of dollars just to make the simplest of designs, just simply because you don't have the skill to do that. Not only do you have to pay them, which can be quite costly, there's oftentimes that communication barrier, you not being able to express, or them not being able to understand exactly what your needs are from a design standpoint. So that sometimes hinders the process of getting your designs done. And also you have that wait time. Sometimes when you contact a professional graphic designer, because they are so highly demanded, then you have to wait sometimes days, even weeks, before you can get a design back, which we know can affect your bottom line in terms of your sales or promotion activity or anything that you wanted to do. And then we have that crazy revision process. So I've seen designs take up to 11 rounds of revision, going back and forth before the designer can get it right, or before the business owner can actually get a design that they like. So we're here to put these things in the past for you, because you will be learning my 7 best kept secrets as a graphic designer. And these are things that I use on a daily basis as a marketer, as a graphic designer, as an entrepreneur. And these are stuff that I've taught my students to use, and many of them are now creating designs on their own. They have a more active social media page now, our pages. They are able to put out promotional things and so much more. Before we get started though, you're probably wondering, who am I and why do I qualify to teach you this skill, graphic design? Well, my name is Micheal Stewart and I'm an entrepreneur and marketing strategist. I've been doing this since 2011. So I've been doing this for a while now. So my skills include marketing, sales, advertising, video production, video editing, photography, videography, web design, sales funnel creation, and a whole bunch of other stuff, right? And I've helped various businesses to get more customers through marketing, the development of marketing strategies, and I've also built my own businesses using these same skills. One of my most popular business is called Stewart's Greetings, which is a customized products and wedding stationery business. So we've served brides in the United States, in Jamaica, and a few other Caribbean islands. So we make everything from wedding invitations, programs, cake boxes, table numbers, thank you cards, menu cards, and so much more. And in all of these things, my skill in graphic design has always been an integral part of the execution of these things. And in addition to that, of course, I've taught many persons to do graphic design through my paid online graphic design course, as well as through my YouTube channel, as well as, in staff development and training programs. So you can trust that I do know a thing or two about creating graphic design projects and being able to share with you what I've learned from experience over the years. Right? So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Without waiting, let's get straight into it. All right, so the first tool that I want to teach you about is the tool that we use to design itself, right? So let me jump to this on my screen here. So what you're looking at here is a software that is the industry leader for graphic design in the world. And yes, it for the world. This is the most popular graphic design tool in the world, which is called Adobe Photoshop. It is the tool that is used by most professionals to create professional artwork. And chances are, when you used to pay your graphic designers, chances are this is the very tool that they use. They may have sent you PSD files in the past. If you've encountered that, this is the tool that they use, Adobe Photoshop. And this is a tool that you'll be learning. But wait, don't worry if you don't have Adobe Photoshop. I have a free alternative, and we'll be using the free alternative in this training so that you can see that they are identical, pretty much identical. Right? So the tool that is identical to Adobe Photoshop that you'll have access to right now is this tool right here that is called Photopea. And if you look at it, this is Photopea. Let me go back to Photoshop. This is Photoshop. As you can see, they are pretty much the same tool, same interface, same icon, same buttons, same locations. And what I've also done, I've actually opened a file. This is a recent thumbnail that I designed for my YouTube channel, and I'll be using this to demo some things inside the application so that you can feel comfortable knowing that you're learning a tool that is identical to Photoshop. So basically you can say you know how to use Photoshop after doing this training. So this tool is called Photopea, and to get access to this tool, all you need to do is go to this website, photopea.com. That's it. Once you are there, you'll be greeted with this screen right here, Photopea. Some people call it Photopea, I call it Photopea. So you'll hear me refer to it as Photopea throughout this training. Right? So this tool is the tool that many of my students who do not have Adobe Photoshop use to create their designs, right? And if you know anything about graphic design, or if you don't know anything about graphic design rather, you will realize that a design is really a compilation of elements, right? Different elements. So as you can see on this design, you have text, you have image, you have images again in the background, you have logos, which most times are images as well, you know, and it's really just a compilation or layers of these things being put together to create a design. Nothing complicated, nothing complex. So what I want you to know is that what we call graphic design, when you look at a poster or a flyer or a business card, is oftentimes just a composition, you know. And if you understand the word composition, is just putting things together to create an artwork. So if you should look at the side here, this is what we call the layers panel inside graphic design. So I'm really breaking this down for you so that you know that what we call graphic design isn't anything complex. These are called layers, right? So this layer here is just a layer that has this smoke air here. And to create this, all I did was use a brush tool and brush on that smoke. You don't have to worry about that for now, right? So this is a layer by itself that has a brush. Right here, this is the layer that has the Facebook icon, right? This layer right here is just the layer of, you know, my photo here, that with the background removed. And right here you see the word easy. This is a text layer that has the word easy on it. This right here is another text layer that has the word download Facebook videos. So if I toggle it on and off, as you can see, it's just me stocking up different elements to create my artwork. So I think personally, I've been doing graphic design for more than a decade now, right? I started this in 2011. And I can tell you that this, what that I'm showing you here, represents the core of layer-based graphic design using a tool like Photoshop. Once you understand that you're getting different layers, let me just demo this. I have a charter here. You're getting different layers and you're pretty much stacking them on top of each other, right? And to create an artwork, then you'll be well on your way with graphic design. So let me explain it some more, right? So let's say, for example, this layer here, let me hit apply, this Facebook logo layer here, right? The order in which a layer appears over here, this entire area here is called the layers panel. The order in which the layers appear here will affect how things are displayed on our canvas right here, right? So let me demo this. So for example, right now, this Facebook logo looks like it's in front of my face, right? The face, this image here of me. So if I should bring it down, let me call this, rename it, double click it, call this Facebook logo. And I'm going to find the layer that has me on it, and I'm going to call this layer me, right? So as you can see in my layers panel, the layer that has the Facebook logo is actually higher than the layer of me, right? And with it being higher here, it means that it will be in front of me, right? As you can see, if I should move the logo across my face, it will visually appear to be in front of me, right? So what happens if I should bring this layer below it? Let's say I brought up the me layer to be above my Facebook logo. So as you can see, I'm now in front, visually, I'm now in front of my Facebook logo. So that's really all there is to understand about compositions in terms of graphic design composition. So once you understand that these are different layers that you're really putting together to make a design, then you can begin to import different elements, import images, import logos, import backgrounds, and all you need to do is reorder them. You may need to size them, make them bigger, make them larger. You may need to remove the backgrounds and stuff like that. This is the tool that you'll use to do all of that to create your graphic design composition, right? And if I should jump, so this is inside Photopea. If I should jump over into Photoshop, you'll see that it's the same thing. Here are the layers again. Let me just bring this up some more. Let me bring this up some more. So these are the layers again. I could double click it to call it Facebook. And double click this to rename it. And I'm going to call this me. And again, it's in front. If I bring it below the me layer, then I'm now in front of it. And that's how everything that you see on a design is stocked. You know, we're putting different layers on top of each other. So sometimes we may add in shapes, text, and other things. So let me jump back to Photopea to show you some stuff. So if we wanted to create a new document, so this is an existing PSD document. So if we're just getting started and we wanted to do something very simple, I'm going to show you how to do that right this minute. So when you go to photopea.com, you are greeted with this welcome screen. So we're going to hit new project. And once we hit new project, then we are greeted with a screen that allows us to enter the settings for our project. So your settings will be based on what you're ultimately trying to create, the shape of it, the size of it. So for example, I'm going to work with something that we're mostly familiar with, a letter size document. So a letter size document measures 8.5 by 11. All right. So if I look in my settings area here, I could change this from pixels to inches. And then for the width, I could set it to 8.5. Right. And then for the height, you've guessed it, we'll set it to 11. And that's the size of a letter size document. And a rule of thumb that I teach my students and that I always use to is for the DPI, I always set this to 300. So your DPI really refers to dots per inch, and it's really just the resolution of the image. Essentially, the higher this number is, the higher the resolution or quality of the image that you'll be creating. You can get too high, and if it's too high, then you might put some processing strain on your computer. So a comfortable and normal size that is used in the design industry is actually 300. So we're going to set that to 300 and we're going to hit create. All right, so once we hit create, we are now greeted with what we call our blank canvas. This is our blank page to create our masterpiece on. All right, so we're going to explore just a few things just so you get an idea of how this works. So for example, the first tool that you may want to learn about is actually the move tool. So this tool here is the tool that we use to move all our elements around. So let me jump back over here. If I select this tool, and once I select this tool and I have auto select all and transform controls on, I can select any element and move it around. You know, that is very important in the world of graphic design. We need to be able to move things around, and with transform controls on, we need to we get these access to these control points, these squares, that allows us to stretch things, size things, as well as rotate things, and so much more. And once we're happy with it, then we hit confirm. So that's the purpose of the move tool. Very important tool, and it is the most used tool inside Photoshop, especially whenever you're creating a composition with multiple elements and you'll be moving things around, right? So that's the move tool. Then we have the text tool, and the text tool, our type tool, is the tool that we use to add text, fonts, text, words on our document, right? So if I click this, then we have stuff that is similar, that are similar to what you would see inside any word processing document like Microsoft Word or Google Docs, right? So we can choose a font. So we could say we want this font Splash. So we click Splash. Give it some time to load. Of course, this runs in the browser, so it will be a little slower than if you were using it on a computer. Then we can choose the regular. Then we can choose a size. So I'm going to increase the size all the way to 150. We can choose the color of the font. So let's say we wanted a red font. You can choose a red. Hit OK. And then we click once on screen. Bam. And once you click there, then we can type. So we can type our name. We could type the name of our business, anything that we wish to type. So I'm going to type the word love. You know, it's a good word to start with. We like the word love, or we love the word love, right? So love. And once we typed it, all we need to hit is confirm, right? And then we go back to our tool again, the move tool. And of course, with auto select and transform control on, we are now able to move this around, and we can do all sorts of good things with it. So that's how we get something there. But what if we wanted an image, right? What if we wanted to bring over an image to use in our design? Then we could go to Google, and google.com, and then I could type in, let's say, a man, right? Enter the word man, then we click images, and then we see images of a man. So we're going to choose him. And once we select it, we can right click on copy image, then go back into Photopea, right? I don't think I like the word love and man here, so let me find a woman. So I'm going to find woman, and you get it. Of course you get why. So I put a woman since I have the word love there, right? So I'm going to put a woman. So I'm going to right click this and copy image, right? Go back to Photopea, select a layer, then we can go up to edit and paste, right? So we have the woman inside the document, right? And as you can see, I'm no longer seeing the word love, and that is simply because the layer that has the word love is actually lower than the image that I imported. So to see the word love, of course, I would need to drag it up, and it being above my layer now, then it's now in front of my image here, the woman, right? So what if I wanted to remove the background, right? There are various ways to remove the background from an image inside Photopea, but a quick starter way for you as a beginner is to simply right click the image, ensure that the layer is selected, right click the image and hit remove background. But before you do that, just know that inside Photoshop, it being a free application, you only get access to this tool only once per day or something of that sort, right? So hit remove background and wait and allow Photopea to do its magic, right? And bam, just like that, there's no background on this. So why would we want to remove the background? Let's say we wanted to put another image behind the woman. So I'm going to search for maybe rose background, right? Like this. We're not really doing a professional design. I'm just using these to demonstrate what makes a design so that you can begin to explore and so that you have a better understanding of what you've been paying for all these years. So I'm going to go to copy image and go back to Photopea. We can select a layer again and then we go up to edit and paste. And just like that, we've pasted in a rose background. So if I size it up, I can size it up, move it around, hit apply. And just like that, we've really created a simple thing. Let's bring down the word love, maybe onto her shirt. Bam. So we have something that looks like that. And to zoom in and out, I'm holding Alt and rolling my mouse wheel. You can also use this tool here, the zoom tool. Click it and you have plus to zoom in, minus, I'm clicking the screen to zoom out. It's as simple as that, right? So I know we're covering a lot. My goal here is to just introduce you to what makes a design so that you can begin to explore this tool and begin to feel comfortable knowing that you have an idea as to how a design is created. And then we have other additional things that we can add in, like for example, shapes. So let's say we wanted to add a circle. We go to ellipse and we can drag our circle, right? Firstly, we need to set the color of our circle. So we could change it to red. And then we can drag it like this to get an oval, or we could hold shift and drag it to get a perfect circle, right? And that's how that works. But again, we're not seeing it because it's below our woman. So we're going to bring it above to see what this does. So this was without us holding shift to create an oval. Holding shift creates a perfect circle, right? So we're going to turn those off for now, and then there are other shapes that we can add. So I hope this introduction to Photopea in terms of your tools here, all your tools being over here that you use to create different things that you can explore, and your layers can serve as a nice introduction to you being able to create designs on your own. And I will be moving on to my next best kept secret. Now that you have access to the professional tools that graphic designers use to create professional artwork, you'll be needing images for your projects, and images like these. So earlier we showed you how to go to Google Images to download an image, but I want to share my second best kept secret as it relates to graphic design, which is a website that allows you to get free, copyright-free images without, having to worry about, copyright. So this website is called Unsplash. So unsplash.com. So let me remove this. So unsplash.com. So as you begin to create designs, you'll start to need images for your projects, different photos of people especially, right? And you want a safe place to go and get images, professional quality images or good enough quality images that you can use in all your projects without having to worry about any copyright infringement, right? So this website allows you to find these images. So these images are images that are uploaded by people all over the world. They have professional cameras, lightings, and they just want to share their artwork with the world for people to use however they choose to use them. right? And we can use them for any professional project. All right. So once you're on unsplash.com, you can go here and you can search for anything. So let's say we want a photograph of a dog. Let's try a dog, right? Hit enter, and then we can see various images of dogs. This looks like a golden retriever. We click this, we can copy it just like what we did earlier and go back to Photopea, select a layer. And why I keep selecting a layer, when you select a layer inside Photopea or Photoshop, you paste it immediately above that layer. So that's why I do that all the time, right? And then we can go up to edit again and then paste. And just like that, we have the image of our dog inside it, and we go to our move tool and we can size it down. We can move it around. If we want, we can rotate it. So once we move to the edge, the cursor to the edge, and see this curved two-sided arrow, we can click it and we can rotate it as we see fit, right? So that's Unsplash. You get the opportunity to download copyright-free images for just about any category that you would want, right? Very, very useful website. In addition to images that you will be needing inside Photopea, you may need access to some really cool fonts, right? And fonts are basically the different typefaces that you can use, you know, that text type, you know, different curved fonts, bold fonts, modern fonts, antique fonts, you name it, you will need access to those, because these are some of the things that we use as graphic designers to give our designs pop. So where do you find fonts? There are various websites that you can go to find fonts, but one of my favorite ones is actually Google Fonts. So if I just go to Google and type in Google Fonts, it will bring it to their website, which is called fonts.google.com. So if I click this here, it will take us there. We're just giving it some time to load, right? And to access this website, you may need to create a Google account. And of course, that's something that most of you already have, right? So on this website, we can explore various fonts that we can use for graphic design projects, as well as other projects, you know, be it video editing, websites, and so forth. So let's say we wanted to create a more of a business-like, we wanted to download a business-like font. I can click under feelings here, business, and then it will filter our fonts to give us more corporate, more business-like looking fonts. But let's say we don't want business, we want something a little bit more playful. Then we can click playful and it gives us fonts accordingly, right? And then there are more categories underneath feelings. We hit show more and we can see a lot more categories. For example, we wanted a futuristic font, then we're getting more futuristic fonts here. So if we wanted to download a font so that we can use it inside Photopea, we can simply click it, then go to get font, then download all fonts, and this will prompt us to save it somewhere on our computer. Let's save it on the desktop, and I'm going to give it a name. So let's call this font download, right? Just so that I can easily remember the zip. So font download, and as you can see, the font is being downloaded. So I click has been downloaded. If I click this, there's a zip folder. If I double click it and go inside, this was the name of the font, Quantico. Double click that, and then there are 4 fonts inside this particular font group. So I'm going to go with the regular. So I could double click it and hit install. And what that will do, it will install the font onto your computer. To get access to that font, however, you will need to go back into Photopea, right? And then go to font. So we're going to click the type face here, the type tool. And then we're going to click this section here that allows us to change the font. And then we're going to ensure that local fonts is actually selected. So I'm going to untick it and tick it. And then we could load fonts. So we could actually load fonts directly into Photopea. So I could actually go to the font. I may need to extract it. Let me see. Let me type font download zip, hit open, load in local fonts. So again, because this is web-based, you may need a little bit of time to have the font loaded. And as you can see, it said font loaded. So if I go here again, I could search for the font that I just installed, which was QUA Quantico, which is this font. Click it, and we have access to that font that we can use. So if I go here and click take the type tool, click once, and type the word font. Now this is still on my previously selected font. Let me go again. Quantico. Click this. All right. Then click once, and then type font. And this is a font that we just downloaded. So if I could go back to my type tool here and change the color of it if I wanted to, let's say green. Hit OK, and it's now green, right? So that's how easy it is to actually download fonts so that you can use it as a part of your design projects. So if you really want to fast track your learning process as a budding graphic designer, resource number 4 and number 5 will help you along that journey. What these tools will do, our resources will do, they will serve as inspiration for your graphic design projects. And I think this is oftentimes an overlooked aspect of learning graphic design, where persons get the tool, just like you have just gotten a tool that you can use to create projects. But there's an aspect of it that involves learning from other professionals that have done the work before you and taking their work as inspiration to create your own, right? So the tool that I'm going to share with you is probably a tool that you already have access to, and it is called Pinterest, right? So Pinterest is the #1 place that I know to see professional looking graphic design work that you can mimic and make your graphic design work better. So instead of blindly opening a blank canvas without any form of direction, you can go to Pinterest first with any project that you have in mind, search it up, see what they have, and then you can take inspiration from it, and then you can move on to creating or move forward with creating your project. So let's say we run a restaurant, right? And we wanted to create a poster or a flyer for that restaurant. Go to Pinterest right here, which is pinterest.com. You may need to create an account, of course, and we're going to type restaurant flyer design, and let's see what comes up, right? So if you were to do the same thing on Google, chances are you won't see this many great looking designs. And that's what I love about Pinterest. Pinterest always delivers the best looking designs that is actually out there, right? So some really cool looking artwork. So I can go here, and as you can see, there are 1,000,001 designs to explore and look at and draw inspiration from. So we can, for example, click this, and we can look at it. And if you click something, then it will begin to show you more designs that are in line with the one that you clicked, right? So we could actually look at this and say, okay, we really like this, and we can say, okay, all we need is a nice image of, I think this looks like a wrap. Sort of looks like a wrap. All right, so we could search for a wrap. We can see that these are some rounded squares, which we would use shapes inside Photoshop or Photopea to create. This right here is another shape that we could actually use, and we can probably even copy image, go back to Photopea, and even paste it in. So we're going to go up to edit and paste, and we can have it there. We can have it here as a reference. We can use this eyedropper tool to toggle it on and off as we take inspiration from it. So for example, this shape right here, this curved shape at the bottom, we could probably use a rectangle or the same ellipse tool to create something that is similar to it, right? And then all we would need to do now is maybe make it the color. So with that selected, go back to our shapes, and then we'll see options related to the shape. So the fill color here represents the color that is on the inside. So this looks like a sort of a dark blue, a very dark blue, almost black. You can click here once, go to the blue section here, and go to a very dark, almost grayish blue, and hit OK, right? And then we can continue from there on with our design, using this as a reference and inspiration. So Pinterest is a great place to find inspiration. Let's say you run a law firm. We could type in law firm design. These are law firm designs that we can take inspiration from. If you run a salon, hair salon, hair salon flyer design, and look at this, really nice looking designs that we can pull from to create our own design. So that's resource number 4. Resource number 5 is a little bit different, and you may not know it, and this is called Facebook Ads Library. And this is also another one of my favorite places to view graphic design, but not just graphic design, but more so ads. As business owners, you will want to get a knock for advertisements that work, right? And your graphic design skills will allow you to create advertisements that work. And one of the best places to get an idea of what works is actually on Facebook's ad library, which, let me explain what this is. So Facebook Ads Library is just a section of Facebook ad that allows you to find any company that is actually running advertisements, right? Any company that is currently running advertisements, you can go here, enter their details, so where they are, all countries, ad category. We're going to choose all ads, and then we can enter the name of the company. So for example, my company here, Stewart's Greetings. If you want to see the ads that we are running, then you can simply click it here. And maybe these were one of the ads that you saw that got you to this video that said, who said learning graphic design is hard, right? So you can actually view the different ads. We can even go to here and type in big brands like KFC. And I think KFC has various locations, but let's try this KFC only, and we can see what they are doing. Right, so I'm seeing some video ads here. Right, so these are mostly video. They're using a lot of videos. See, here's an image here. So we can get some inspiration from these companies. So, pro tip here, you can use this to spy on your competitors to see what they are doing if you want to learn about their advertising practices, so that you can, come up with an appropriate response, right? So that's tip number 5. And we will be going to tip number 6 and 7 right away. Let's say you created your beautiful artwork, but you want a nice way to display it. Maybe you want to share it with your friends, you want to share it with your business partners, you want to share it with customers. Then this resource that I'm about to share with you, which is resource number 6, is a resource that allows you to do exactly that. So this website, onblast.com, right? So on this website, you have what we call mockups, right? And these are PSD mockups, and PSD means Photoshop document. So Photoshop document is really the file format that you would save your Photoshop projects in order to use them, reuse them, work on them, and so forth, right? So PS, as you can see here, PS means Photoshop. So once you're using Photopea, you are able to open PSD files. Right, so as you can see here, there are various forms of mockups. Maybe it's a shirt. So let's say you did a shirt design and you wanted to see what it would look like on a shirt in a more realistic and presentable way. Then you could come here and find a shirt design, a phone design, and so much more, right? So let's say, for example, we made jelly, right? We made jam, right? And we wanted to see what our label design that we did would look like on a jam jar. Then we can come here and type in jam and see what happens. So as you can see, various mockups here of jams with their labels on them. So basically how PSD mockups work is that once we download these PSD mockups, we would basically input our design onto this mockup and it will show us a preview similar to what we are seeing here with our design on it, right? So all we need to do is find a design that we like or a mockup that we like, and we can scroll. So this website Unblast, what it does, it pulls from all resources all over the place, all over the internet, into one place, mockups that we can download for free. And of course, you do have some paid ones there, but a lot of them are absolutely free for us to use, right? So we click this. All we need to do now is hit free download, and chances are it may redirect us to another website. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Right, hit free download again and wait for it to load, or maybe it's redirecting us to the actual source. As I said, on Blast, it's basically links to other websites or resources found on other websites as it relates to mockups, right? So all we need to do is, of course, ignore the ads that we're seeing, and this is the button that we're looking for, which is download mockup. And it says thanks for your download. It is starting in how many seconds. So we can save this mockup somewhere on our computer. So I'm going to save it on the desktop. It's called Glass Jar Mockup. Hit save, and it has downloaded the jar. So I'm going to go to the location of it. So I have WinRAR, which is a zip file opening app. You probably have the default zip opening app on your computer. So all you need to do is unzip it or unarchive it. So I'm going to extract it here, or extract files, and I'm going to hit OK. Right, and let me see. So here it is, the folder, glass jar, and this is the PSD file. Let me increase it extra large. So this is a preview of it here, and this is the PSD file, right? So this, it's showing like this because I have Photoshop installed on my computer, and to open it, I could open it using Photoshop, or of course, in your case, I'm going to show you how to do that using Photopea. So to open it, all we do is go to File, then Open, and then we're going to look for that folder that we extracted. So this is the zip file. We remember we extracted it. So I need to find the folder, which is this. Click this, click here, and then the PSD. So .psd file, and then we're going to open it. And this should open a layer-based document similar to what we have here. So this is it. There we go. So this is our mockup. So it says add logo here. So if I double click this, I could add my logo. So I'm going to grab a logo from the internet just to demonstrate this real quick for you. So I'm going to let's say label design, just to pretend that we created this design. All right, so we're going to pretend that we created this design, right? So we're going to right click this and copy it, go back to Photopea and select the layer and edit and paste, right? So we're going to make it seem as if we created this design just so that we can see what it does, right? So we created this design using our newly acquired graphic design skills. So if I should save this, which is Control S, it will, as you saw there, is it said smart object updated. If we wanted to save it, all we need to do is hit Control S, or right here, hit save. And when we go back to our mockup now, we should see an update. So just like this, it updated the mockup, giving us a more realistic looking mockup that we can then save out as a JPEG, save as or export as JPEG, which is the most common video which is the most common image file format, we can choose save and save it somewhere on our computer for sharing with our friends and family. So let's go there to see what that looks like. Double click this, and there you go. Here's our wonderful mockup that we created using the mockup that we found on unblast.com. So here's the logo, here's the label rather, that we imported and used to create a realistic preview of our design that we can now share with our friends, family members, customers, partners, or anyone that we choose to send it to. All right. We cannot have a graphic design course without touching some of the modern innovations that are taking place right now. And one of the things that we are experiencing right now is the age of AI, artificial intelligence, right? And artificial intelligence is something that will be and will continue to be a part of the graphic design process. So one of the things that we use artificial intelligence to do as a graphic designer is to actually generate images that we can use in our designs, right? So there are times as a designer where it's sort of difficult to find images, the exact looking images that we want on, for example, a website like Unsplash or any other free resource, or even the paid ones. We may have something in our minds that an exact looking image that we'd want, but we just don't know how to get that image. And one of the best way to do that is to actually generate it. So, we know about AI in terms of ChatGPT, that we can pretty much ask just about anything and it will give us the answer or information on it. Then I just wanted to be aware that there are also AI tools out there that can actually generate just about any image that we tell it to generate. And one of my favorite one is actually this one here called openart.ai. So like most other image generators, it gives you tokens that you can use per month. And of course, as you continue to use it, you will be using up your tokens before it actually prompts you to either pay for it or wait the following month to get another set of tokens. So you can get very far with the free aspect of these. So here we are on openart.ai. So you can visit that website, openart.ai. And once you're there, you can sign up to create a free account. So you can use you can sign up using your Gmail. So we're going to select this, sign up to create a free account. And there are options here. We can sign up using Discord, Twitter, other stuff, but I'm going to use Gmail. Right? And then click this to sign up and hit continue. Right? So I guess by now you realize that having a Gmail account is pretty advantageous when it comes on to registering and signing up for things. Right? So let's say I wanted an image of an Asian construction worker that is in a red helmet and has a green jackhammer in his right hand. So let's type that in. So as you can see, it's very specific. So generate a photorealistic image of an Asian construction worker that is in a red helmet and has a green jackhammer in his right hand. Full stop. Give it a plain white background. Right? So as you can see, I got very, very specific with my instructions, with my prompt here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit create and just wait to see what it comes up with. Right, so it's generating some stuff. And as you can see, let me see, click this. All right, so it gave me the green helmet, Asian, red shirt. So let me look and see, generate a photorealistic image of an Asian construction worker that is in a red helmet. All right, so it gave me the red helmet but not the jackhammer. So let's try again. You can enhance prompt, or we keep it as is, right? So it didn't give me the jackhammer here, but you get the idea. We could actually give it another prompt to generate a more specific thing, and we can right click this, copy it, go back to Photopea, and actually use it in our designs, right? The idea is that you can come here and generate images. It's just for you to fiddle around with it until you get something that you like. And this is one, OpenArt.ai. Another one that I also use is called Pixel. I think it's Pixlr. It's an image generator, AI image generator. All right, so this is another good one too that you can explore. So construction worker, Asian, red helmet, in a red helmet with a green jackhammer in his right hand, white background. All right, so hit generate and see what comes up. And this one is actually showing us how many tokens that we have. And there we go. So Asian in red helmet with a jackhammer in his right hand, white background. So we could actually copy this image, go to Photopea and paste it in. So go to here, paste, and we have the image to actually use in our design project. All right, so that actually brings us to the end of this free training. I know that we've gone through a lot and touched, a lot of different things, but I really hope that you got some value in this video and you feel much more comfortable knowing that graphic design isn't as difficult as many persons make it out to seem, right? Or out to be, right? However, I also want to use this as an opportunity to introduce you to my live online graphic design class that will allow you to fast track the learning process. So yes, you can take what I just shared with you and actually use it on your own, and over time practice with it and be inspired with the resources that provides inspiration. Fiddle around with the different tools and resources inside Photopea itself and become familiar with it. And you can do that. But what if there was a faster way to get you from feeling like a beginner to feeling more like a pro and being able to create your own business cards, flyers, posters, banners, and everything in between? Well, I have a course that does that in exactly 4 days, right? I've taught many students, dozens of students have actually signed up and paid for my course, and I've helped them to actually move from being a complete beginner. Some of these persons, they hardly even knew how to change a font on their computer, and now they're actually creating really beautiful designs, right? So we have classes, live online classes, where I actually hold your hand through the process. I share more in-depthly the different tools and menus inside Photopea and how you can actually create designs using actual examples, right? So, and at the end of each class, you also get assignments that you can actually work on to further enhance what you would have learned in class and provide practice. So you're learning in a more structured way. And I guarantee that if you do this course in 4 days, even if you have never done a design before, you will be able to create designs on your own at the end of 4 days. Of course, once you put in the work. And I'm telling you, many of my students have been doing it. In fact, I'm going to share on screen some of the reviews that we've gotten. from some of our students. So if you want to be a part of our upcoming batch of students to actually learn graphic design in 4 days, there's a link that is directly below this video that you can click, and it will take you to our registration page. So on that registration page, you'll see everything that you need to know about the course. You'll see the current cost of the course, the early bird price, as well as the regular price. You'll also see the next start date of the course, right? So you can see the next start date of the course and click to register for it and make a payment. So payment for the course can be made via PayPal. For international students, PayPal is the main method that we use for collecting payments. So payment can be made using a debit card or credit card, or if you have a PayPal account. If you are a customer that is inside, our student or business owner that is inside Jamaica and want to make payment via bank transfer, then there's that option as well. And I may add other additional payment methods to the page, which may include Zelle and Cash App, right? So if you're interested in fast tracking your learning process, check out the registration page, read the reviews for yourself, see some of the projects that we will be covering. Click the link to register for the class, and see you in the next batch. Until next time, take care, and I look forward to you creating some wonderful graphic design work. Take care.